You are listening to A Path to New You, a podcast about mental health and veterans issues. Today's topic, I want to talk about managing social anxiety during the holidays. I know we had Thanksgiving just around about a week and a half ago, and with Christmas up, that's another major holiday, or Hanukkah and whatnot, depending on what religion and whatnot. So today's episode, I want to talk about ways you can manage your social anxiety. All right. The holiday season, with its gatherings and celebrations, it can bring joy, but for those with social anxiety, it can feel overwhelming. The pressure to socialize, to navigate conversations, the festive period can amplify stress. So again, the pressure to socialize. I know when you're in family gatherings, I know I'm one of them where I feel like I'm pressured to talk and then kind of come up with something to talk about. So that can bring stress and anxiety. However, with the right strategies, you can manage such challenges and enjoy the connection with your family and relatives. One of the things you can do is start with realistic expectations. What do I mean by that? Well, of course, holidays are rarely perfect. So we think, this is gonna be perfect. Holidays are rarely perfect. Something happens where you're frustrated and whatnot. There might be an awkward silence, family quirks, or conversations that fizzle out. Again, holidays are rarely perfect. What can you do? Refrain from your expectations. Instead of striving for everything to go smoothly, aim for moments of connection. Let go of people pleasing. You don't have to entertain everyone or meet every expectation. Focus on what feels authentic and manageable to you. You can also practice mindfulness to stay grounded. Social anxiety often pulls people into a loop of overthinking. I'm one of those people. I overthink a lot. I'm trying to work on it. But yeah, it's social anxiety often pulls people into a loop of overthinking. Ground yourself in the moment and use your senses to anchor yourself. And just sit down, stand around someplace, and just notice the smell of the food that's cooking, the sound of the music in the background if there's music, or just look around and see what's there, like the wall, notice the color of the walls or the pictures. Look at it. There could be pictures up on the wall. Just look at one of the pictures and just focus on it. So ground yourself in the moment. Also, try the 4-4-4 breathing exercise. I've talked to my clients about this, and this has helped a lot of them. So, what you do in this situation, you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. This calms your nervous system and helps you center your thoughts. Now, with the breathing exercises, if you don't know them, you don't, like breathe in or breathe out like heavily and whatnot. You could just do it slowly into yourself. Kind of like, I guess an example would be you don't want to go, you want to take a breath in like for 4 seconds and then let it out. Exhale for 4 seconds. See, even when I did that, I felt more calm. Manage conversations with grace. One of the biggest challenges for those with social anxiety is navigating conversations. especially with difficult people on certain sensitive topics. A sensitive topic could be about politics. I know on Thanksgiving, my family we really didn't talk about politics. I didn't hear anything about politics. Maybe once or twice, but that, yeah, I didn't really hear anything about politics this year. So you can actually prepare in advance. Think of a few topics you're comfortable discussing. Having some ideas in your back pocket can ease the pressure to improvise. Example, I enjoy talking about sports. So I talk about sports. If someone asks me how I'm doing or how my job is, I talk about the job. Set boundaries if a conversation veers into uncomfortable territory, such as politics or family drama. It's okay to redirect it or gently excuse yourself. Like, you know what? It's glad talking to you. I need to go get a drink or I need to go outside for a few minutes. Ask questions. If you feel stuck, let the other person do the talking. Most people love sharing about themselves, and it takes the spotlight off of you. Take breaks and know your limits. Taking breaks can help you recharge and manage overwhelming feelings. So, what could you do to take a break? Step outside for a few minutes. I did mention that. Go outside. It might be cold, it might be snowing. Just go outside for a quick 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be long. Take a quick go outside for some fresh air for 5 to 10 minutes, and just take a break. You don't have to go outside. You can go to a different room. Go to another room. Have an exit plan. Just in case something happens where you just cannot deal with it anymore. Have an exit plan. If the gathering becomes too much, it's okay to leave early. You arrived. It's okay to leave early sometimes. Let your host, the person who's hosting, know in advance that you might need to slip out and thank them for understanding. Most people, when you say that, will understand. And they'll be glad that you came in the first place. Another thing is find comfort in rituals. Create small rituals that bring you comfort before or after social events. They can help anchor you and provide a sense of normalcy amidst the holiday chaos. So for me, that would include just coming home from whatever I'm doing and I put on the TV. I watch TV. Before the event, you can also watch TV, listen to your favorite music, journal your thoughts, or even meditate. Meditation is a big one. I try to meditate at least once a day. At least once a day. But yeah, meditation is really good at calming yourself. After the event, like I mentioned, watch a movie or just lay on the couch, watch a movie, listen to your music, or if you have a dog, or a pet, just cuddle with your pet. Moderation in alcohol is important. Drinking during the holiday season, drinking is kind of at least here in Wisconsin, it's kind of a normalcy where people drink when they're gathering and for social events. Anywhere you go, if there's an event going on, whether it's before a game for tailgating, whether it's an event or a Christmas party or anything like that, there's usually alcohol involved. And I just watch how much you drink. A glass of wine or any other alcoholic beverage can take the edge off. Too much alcohol can amplify anxiety. You drink a little too much, your anxiety might go up a little bit. Or if you drink too much, the next day you might be hungover. If you are drinking, pace yourself and have a glass of water between alcoholic beverages. I tend to do that quite a bit if I'm drinking. Most of the time, I have water with me. Again, coping with social anxiety during the holidays is challenging, but it doesn't have to overshadow the season. By setting realistic expectations, practicing mindfulness, and taking care of yourself, you can find the joy in small, meaningful moments. And so let me repeat some of the stuff I just said. Set realistic expectations to reduce anxiety and find joy. Practice mindfulness to stay grounded in social situations. If you're seeing a therapist, I'm sure your therapist has talked to you about mindfulness. Use visualization techniques to ease your anticipated anxiety. Take breaks and know when it's time to recharge and reset. And again, you know yourself, no one else knows you more than what you do. Just do, do some of the things I just mentioned. And then there's a lot of other things you can do too. Anyway, I hope you learned something today. Um, I know it's been a couple of weeks since I've done the last episode. I've been pretty busy, but I plan on doing one at least maybe once a week or every other week. Hopefully, I'll start doing more. Um, my podcast is for everybody. I've had a few people mention, "Hey, your podcast is only for veterans." I'm like, no, it's not. It's for everybody. Anyone who wants to know more about mental health, who wants to know more about just ways to help themselves out. That's my goal for this podcast. So it's anybody. Sometimes I'll have an episode on veterans issues. Sometimes I'll have, but most of the time it will be on anything mental health related to help you out. If you're looking for help or suggestions, this is a podcast for you. Again, if you are feeling suicidal or anything like that, please go see a therapist. Please call the National Suicide Hotline. Please take care of yourself. I know Christmas is coming up too, and that could be depressing for people. And I will talk about ways to help you cope with those with Christmas. If you're feeling depressed, I'll talk more about that in my next episode, I can, where like I said, mention some people, Christmas and whatnot can be depressing. So my next episode, I'll talk more about that and help you find ways to cope with that. You can find my podcast on most major platforms: Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Please, when you're done listening to my episodes, please like, comment, let me know what I can do better. Also, please hit the notification button so you notify when I have a new episode up. Please follow. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get more followers. I know I just had my creators wrapped thing. Every year at the end of the year you get something, and I've noticed I've got about 37% more listeners. I've had people listen all in different countries, and I just want to get more people to listen and help more people out and inform more people about mental health issues. Again, you're listening to A Path to New You, and I hope you learned something today. And if not, that's great. Anyway, have a good rest of the day. And until next time, be well.